good evening, Sagan. Hello, welcome to Switzerland. Hello.
Yes, so glad to be here. Kind of.
Do you want to tell everybody who you are?
I am the host and producer of a radio show for kids and all ages, and basically everyone that broadcasts on in the United States. It's called Radioactive Kids, and I have a whole bunch of fun doing it.
You do that on Saturday mornings, don't you? Your time.
Yes, yes. Saturday mornings from 8 to 10, which I think is like 3 in the afternoon there, or roundabouts.
Yeah, I normally tune in around 3 in the afternoon and get to listen to a bit of it. Yeah. So how come you do kids music?
Well, it's interesting. I kind of didn't really choose it. I kind of so I grew up listening to really high quality kids music because the late 90s and the early 2000s was really when a large amount of really great independent artists started coming up, and I grew up. My parents, listened to music with me, and we had fun, and we really enjoyed it. And as I grew older, I still recognized this was actually good music. This is really good stuff that I listened to. And then, like, when I was, how old was I? Like 17, I think. I happened to randomly meet up with a guy who was doing a show, a kids radio show called T-Bone's Radioactive Kids on the radio station, and he invited me to come on the show. And then, long story short, I ended up taking over the show, and the rest is history.
How long has that been? How long has it been since you took over the show?
I have been doing it for 4.5 years solo.
Wow, so you played a lot of kids music over those 4.5 years.
I know, and I have like literally thousands and thousands of releases in my collection, so it's crazy. I have so much new music that I like rarely get a chance to play a single release or an artist like more than a couple of times, but there's so much amazing stuff out there.
Yeah. Did you have any like favorites, like a golden hit of kiddies music?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know. Like my perspective is that I don't really like any particular genre more than the other ones, and there are many different like albums and releases that speak to me personally, and that are really important on an artistic level. But it's hard for me to pick out like a number one favorite. I had this problem every year when I'm doing my top 10 list. I'm like, sure, they're good, but like, are they really the best? I don't know. I try not to like favor anyone like too much. That every artist has something that can contribute to the art and the fun and the awesomeness, I think.
Do you listen to other kinds of music, or is it just kids music because you're so busy listening to all the different kinds? With thousands of tracks, you probably don't have time to listen to anything else, do you?
Yeah, I actually do listen to a lot of kids music outside, like when I'm just like fixing lunch or whatever, and because it's genuinely good music. There's a lot of genuinely great stuff, but I also listen to all sorts of stuff. Like I'm like a huge like a hardcore punk fan and stuff. So like I like everything. I like it. I like a huge variety of different types of things.
How do you come about new music? I mean, obviously people have heard your show, so they probably send you.
Yes.
Where do you also go looking for new music and try and find out new stuff, or you just get what you're given?
Oh, very much so. I search like the tags on Bandcamp. That's how I find so much cool music. And I also like contact people like people from all over the world. I found music from Germany, from Switzerland. I found an artist from Croatia, and she connected me with like people from Finland and the Czech Republic and Bulgaria, all over the place. So it's really cool. Like it's like I'm kind of like setting up, like searching out and finding more and more of these like kids music networks as I'm getting deeper and deeper. But it's amazing how much is out there, how much really great stuff is out there all around the world.
Yeah, and do you go watch some of these acts live as well? Do you go to concerts, or do you just keep it to listen to at home?
When I can, I mean, like it's they're actually where I live in Asheville, North Carolina. There aren't really that many concerts, and like we're the only really large city in our area, so I can't really go over to like the next big city and see a concert. I mean, there's the occasional concert, and I try to attend that as much as possible. Like, for example, Secret Agent 23 Skidoo is from Asheville, and he often performs here. But you know, there are like a few great independent kids artists from this area, but I don't see as many concerts as I like. Let's say that.
Do you get many people to come to the studio as well, or does it do? Cause I heard you do some like interviews via telephone and stuff, but do you get people in the studio as well giving you interviews?
Yes, when I can. Like oftentimes, people will just be like coming through Asheville, and they're like, "Hey, I'm coming through Asheville." I'm like, "Can you stop in the studio and perform some songs?" But I love having people perform in studio, and like how I do it is like I have them play songs and like talk about the songs and stuff, and it's really great to get that like live experience. I love doing live radio because like it's fun, and it's kind of dangerous because you never know what will happen and what will go wrong, and stuff does go wrong, but it's great because you know I'm real. I'm a real person. I'm not a robot.
I can really feel, even through Skype, and every time I listen to your show, I gotta say, I do feel the passion, the love for the music. You know, you're not just playing music for the sake of playing music. Yeah. But what would you say to people that, with the argument that say, well, but Sagan, kids can listen to music, they can listen to the charts, what's playing anyway. Why do they need some special music for themselves? Why do kids need special kids music? What do you think is important about it?
So they don't necessarily need special music for themselves, but there's a lot of music that doesn't speak directly to kids, and a lot of music that, like, you know, I guess kids, you know, haven't really gotten the life experience to exactly get what's going on, and a lot of the really good kids music does speak directly to not only kids but all ages in many different ways, and it can provide like a connection, because if you enjoy a song with your parents and you enjoy it as much as your parents, or if you enjoy it with your grandparents or whatever, that creates like a really cool connection that you don't really get if you're listening to some other random song. And I really think that kids music and listening to kids music as a family and everyone can really expand everyone's minds as to what is good, what types of music are out there, and what to listen to. A lot of what I try to do with my show is like every song has to like expand the listener's mind in some way, shape, or form, whether that be through lyrics, like making you think about something, or making you think about a new way of looking at things existing, or you know, expanding the world in some way, or it's through music, like maybe a new type of music you've never heard before, a new way of putting together music, or just a new way of singing, or just a song that gets stuck in your head and inspires you to write a new song, you know, like. And I think that can apply to all ages. And what's great about kids music is that it's not really just for kids. Sure, it says kids music, but the good stuff, it's for everyone, you know.
Come on, you gotta give me some names. Come, give me some names. Some top music artists. You give me Secret Agent 23 Scaboo. He's amazing. He does great music. So we don't have to repeat his name, but more names. Who's like?
Oh man, I can go into the folks I've interviewed this year. Let's see, who did I interview? Last week I interviewed Bash the Trash, who is a really cool band who makes instruments out of like recycled trash, and and their new EP is all like blues songs that are like funny and weird, and they're playing on recycled trash, and it's so cool. And I also recently interviewed Elena Moon Park, who's amazing, and her new album, Moon Park, excuse me, her new album is called Unhurried Journey. It's kind of like kind of like an exploration of different types of music, but mostly through like an Asian music lens, but combining all sorts of different types of music from like all over the place, and it's amazing the way she just melds everything together into this one wonderful sound. Like for example, she has a song from China that she reworked for this album with a whole bunch of different musicians, and she made it into both a rock song and a klezmer song. It's so complicated and so wonderful, and it really kind of opens your mind as to what these songs can sound like, what can be done. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. I mean, like there's so many good artists, and it just occurs to me now that I mostly mention artists from the United States because that's who I've interviewed lately. But but there's also so many artists. Like there's an amazing amount of great artists from South America, and like there's so many amazing musicians from Argentina and Chile who mostly sing in Spanish but are doing amazing work.
Okay, so you understand Spanish as well?
To a degree. I'm not the best Spanish speaker. I can mostly understand it spoken, and I can read it, but I'm not. I am not the best Spanish speaker. If somebody came up and started speaking to me in the street, I can't guarantee that I would understand it. But I'm trying, and I am working on getting better.
So you'll actually sit down and read the lyrics of the songs so that you know what you're playing as well.
Oh yes, yeah, and like I don't want to play something that's like not actually for kids or anything, but usually you can tell what's good and what's for kids and what's for all ages, and it's amazing that that the independent all ages kids music scene has sprung up like around the world. There's so many artists from virtually every continent, I think, that are doing this sort of thing.
In that case, a big thanks to you for taking your time to be promoting all these artists from all around the world.
That's part of what I try to do there, because there's so much good stuff out there. I feel weird not supporting everyone and not giving everyone a chance to be heard, because I feel like everyone making art deserves to have a chance to be heard, and everyone, and there's so many good artists out there that they should be heard, and many of them aren't as well known as they should be.
Well spoken. Would you do more than just the 2 hours on a Saturday morning? Do you have capacity to do more radio? Do you want to do more radio?
Honestly, no. I have 2-hour show that I do, and then like the 3 hours of well, let's say 4 hours of prep that I do, like promoting the show and putting the playlist together, and that's already like at like maximum capacity there, because I'm also a college student. I'm actually a new grad student now, so I have a lot of stuff on my hands. So sometimes I barely have enough time to do the show, but I know that it's something that's important to keep putting out into the world. So I keep doing it, and I don't plan on stopping.
I gotta say thank you in the name of, I know a lot of German artists and a lot of Swiss artists who are very happy that you're around to play their music, because you're like, I mean, for me, you were the first one who played Sam Smiley in America. I mean, Sam Smiley to America, whoever would have thought it? All thanks to you, Radioactive Kids. And I want to put in your email, can I release your email address so kids, musicians from all around the world can send you their music? Yes. Where should they send it?
Yes. My public email address is Sagan at ashevillefm.org. It's spelled SAGAN at ashevillefm.org.
But yeah, so anybody from around the world that's listening now can send you their music. Do you want it as an MP3 or do you want it as a WAV?
I prefer MP3s because I have of course, a limited amount of storage space. But if you only have WAV, I think having the music is more important.
Okay, well then, everybody send Sagan your music. Thank you, Sagan, very much. And listen to Radioactive Kids live on Saturday, lunchtime, mornings, evenings, wherever you are in the world. It's worth listening to Sagan. Sagan, thank you very much for taking time for this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be listening to you soon.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. This is really cool.